Hey guys, welcome to the Opulent. So today I am doing this makeup look right here, which is a back to school makeup look. Really simple, naturally pretty, highlights your natural features, which is what makeup should do anyways. But I think back to school look is, you know, it doesn't take too much effort, really simple makeup techniques and everything that just makes you look really well put together and ready for a good day of school. Before I get started, I just want to say I started a blog, so I'll be doing fashion blog posts, really like tips and tricks, different articles. I posted one last week. It was about Little Mix's 5-year anniversary, so I did all their best outfits through the years and their style transformation. So I will link that below. It is called Opulent Sandy at WordPress. That Opulent Sandy is my username. I'm still trying to figure out how WordPress exactly works. I've used it in the past, but I've never had to like set up a blog. Like I've written for other blogs, just never set up my own account type of thing. So I'm just trying to figure out how that works. But my username is Opulent Sandy, and I will be posting later on as well. I think I'm probably gonna do tips and tricks for back to school, like getting ready in the morning, save you time and everything, which is kind of, I guess this is kind of, you know, this video is kind of transitioning into that because, you know, this look is really simple to follow, really quick. So yeah, also follow me on Instagram, Twitter. My usernames are Opulent Sandy, really, you know, consistent there. I guess let's get started. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to be using is the Garnier. It's a Skin Renew Dark Spot Anti-Sun Damage Broad Spectrum SPF 28 Sunscreen. Looks like this. It's so good. Oh my god. So it really does help like dark spots and stuff, because I have a few acne scarring and it's just helped so much with that. And so since it has sunscreen and everything, I just put it on before I put on foundation or anything like that. Up next, I'm going to be using so you could put on primer and everything right after this, but I'm not putting on primer because, as you guys know, I don't like wasting like primer and stuff when I'm just going to be filming and then I'm done for the day. Feel free to put on whatever primer you like. Born This Way foundation. It's a medium to full coverage foundation, and I like this because I think if you have a good base to start off with, especially for school, you just pop on foundation and then just a little bit eye makeup and then you're good to go. I actually did a video using this one a couple months ago. I will link it below, and if you're on web, it should pop up here somewhere. So I'm just gonna do this. See, this stuff is kind of pricey and I don't want to waste it. So the way I do it is I just put a little bit on my finger, literally like not even a full pump, pop it straight on the places I need it rather than putting it in the back of my hand, dipping my brush, wasting half of it on my brush type of situation. So that's what I do. Then if I need more, I just go back to the places I need more coverage. And I'm going to be blending that in with the Bare Minerals Precision Face Brush. And I just I dot it, like I press it into the skin. I find that it gives you more coverage. It makes your product go a really long way. Now I'm going in with concealer. I'm using my favorite Bare Minerals Bare Skin Complete Coverage Serum Concealer. And you can highlight with this, but again, this is school. I don't feel like taking that much time, so I just do a little semicircle situation. I'm going to be blending that in with a Real Techniques Dome Shadow brush, I think. I'm pretty sure this is a Dome Shadow brush. I use it so much that the paint has gone away, so I really don't know. And then when you're putting on the concealer, to kind of highlight just a little bit, I just kind of drag it down like that. Okay, so what I used to do is I used to powder and then I'd contour and everything else. But I found a trick that works really well is that I highlight, contour, everything else, and then I powder afterwards, just because I feel like it just, I don't know, it just looks so much better. I do powder the under eye because the under eye starts creasing really fast. So you just want to set the under eye. So I'm going to be taking the It Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores powder, which I just am in love with. It's just amazing. I'm going to be using that to set my under eye before I set the rest of my face. And I'm going to be using the contour brush by Real Techniques. This stuff is so good. Like this brush for getting right under the eye. It is good stuff right there. Under eye is set, and then I'm gonna contour just a little bit because in the morning I don't feel like contouring that much. I just do a little bit in case I have time. So I'm going to be using the Curvy Contour Stick. It's the Chubby Stick by Clinique. So I'm going to be actually, you can put it straight on your face or do it like this, which is so much quicker in the mornings. I'm going to be using the Small Stipple Brush by e.l.f. and just taking that right on the product. Just coating the brush. Lightly contour the cheekbone, so... I'm going to be taking that right under. And before I put on my blush, I'm going to be using the Maybelline Master Strobing Stick. I'm going to be using today, let's go with the color 200. It's just like a golden highlighter, and I'm going to be just doing one stripe like this. And just blendy blend with your fingers. Okay, and then I'm going to be taking the Roly Poly Rosy by Clinique. It's their cream blush. Again, really natural. I'm going to be putting it on the apples of the cheeks. Like this. And then I'm going to be blending that in with the Real Techniques buffing brush. And go in circles. Be powdering the rest of my face with that IT Cosmetics powder, and I'm going to be taking the Real Techniques multitask brush, put that on this brush, and you want to press it into the skin as opposed to going like this, because then it'll just move around all the hard work you just did. And to highlight my Cupid's bow, I'm actually going to be using a different highlighter. Bare Minerals Ready Luminizer in Love Affair and The Shining Moment. Again, I love this stuff. It's literally hit the pan. That's how much I love it. I'm just going to take it on a smaller brush. And for the eyes today, I want to stick with something a bit more neutral, a bit more natural. So I'm going to be taking the Blush Nudes palette by Maybelline. This beautifulness. And I'm going to be taking, let me just put some on my brush before I turn it, this color right here, and I'm going to be pressing that right all over the lid. Okay, so now that I have a base, I'm going to be taking this color right here, this color right next to that, and I'm going to be putting it on a fluffy blending brush, and then I'm going to be putting that right in the crease. Really focusing it more towards the outer corner and then just blending. This will add just definition to your eye without looking like too much, you know? So I want to be brightening up the eye just a little bit. So I'm going to be using this shade right here, putting that on a small shader brush, and I'm going to be pressing that right into the center of the eye. Just so it kind of lifts everything. Actually, rather than taking it just on the center, I'm just going to kind of blend it in to the rest of the lid, focusing it on the center, but just working that kind of throughout the lid shape. Okie dokie, so next I'm going to be highlighting the inner corners of my eyes, and I'm going to be using this shade right over here, and then just putting that right in the inner corner. And blending it down just a bit. Okay, and next I'm going to be lining my eyes with the Lakme Insta Liner. It is from my country, but any sort of black liner will do. Just whatever you got works. And I'm going to be lining my eye closest to the lash line. I'm going to line the eye and not wing it out because ain't nobody got time for that in school. So while my eyeliner dries and before I put on any sort of mascara or anything, I'm going to be taking this color that we used in the crease on just a thin liner eyeshadow brush and just running that right under my eye. Just so it gives it a bit of a smoky sort of effect. And then I'm going to be using the Clump Crusher by CoverGirl as a mascara for my under eye, not for my top eye. So next I'm going to be moving on to the top lashes, and I'm going to be using the Voluminous Superstar Red Carpet Black by L'Oreal. It has a primer on one side, a mascara on the other. So I like using the primer side. I don't really dig the mascara side, if I'm really completely honest with you. Just use the primer on your lashes. It really helps to fan out the lashes like this, especially if you didn't line the, if you didn't do a wing. It just looks so much cooler. That's like my little tip. So then it just fans out your lashes, creating like a wing sort of effect. And over the top of that, I am going to be using the L'Oreal, I think it's a Carbon Black Collagen Mascara. It's just so good. Look at this. Look at that brush. Do you see that? Oh, it's so good. And I'm going to just put that right over the top. I do fill my brows now. I never used to. I just kind of like to. I think it just looks cool. Just a little bit, like not too much. And so what I use is actually the Naked Urban Decay Basics palette, just because this is a color that works best for my brows. I'm going to be using the darkest color in that. And I take just a little angled detailer brush by Lamora. I'm pretty sure all the brushes I've been using today are by Lamora. And what I do is I start right on the end and just really lightly start filling in them. I try not to do the tip too much because that makes you look like you have boxy brows and it just looks really unnatural. And I just really lightly touch the brush to the powder, clean it on the back of my hand just so I don't get too much product on there, and then just brush it through just to fill in the little gaps I have. I have pretty thick eyebrows naturally, so I don't really need to fill them in that much. But I do like this better than a pomade or anything like that. And then I just take whatever is left over on my brush and just kind of rub it through the beginning of my brow, and it doesn't look that different. I just think to me it does, because it's just like I never fill in my brows. But it doesn't really look that different. It just looks a little bit naturally defined, which I love. If you start from the bottom and then work your way to the arch, it will give you a more natural thing, just so you have a guideline for your eyebrows to go. Whereas if you start from the arch, it can kind of get too archy and then just look really unnatural. Okay, and then to clean it up and just make it a little bit more sharp, I usually use the Rimmel, what's it called, Scandalized pencil in 005 Nude, but I can't seem to find my sharpener. Oh, woo! Found my sharpener, just kidding. Okay, to just clean that up, I'm gonna just trace the outline of my brow basically, just so it just looks more defined. Just makes it so much sharper and just, ooh, it's just so nice. I'm going to be blending that in with a small shader brush, and then just, there we go. And then I'm just going to blend that up just so it kind of looks like it's part of the skin. And then I'm going to just take that brush that we blended the crease with, just so it kind of brings it all together. There we go. And the way I actually set my brows is either I use a brow gel, or what I've been using is just some hairspray. So I'm going to be using the Garnier Fructis Style Sleek and Shine Anti-Humidity Hairspray. I'm just going to spray that on a spoolie and just comb my brows through. And this will just set everything. And it doesn't make the brows all crispy, if that's the correct word. Just comb it through so it'll blend the shadow in with the natural brow, and it'll make your natural brow hair stand out. I just have a lot of natural brow hairs anyways, but if you haven't got them and you've just got a few, it'll just make them stand out more. And I'm going to be taking the Master Strobing stick just on that same brush that I used to clean up the brows and blend in the pencil, and I'm going to be putting that right on the brow bone so it just highlights the brow bone. But not least, on my lips, I'm going to be using the Bare Minerals. They came out with a new lipstick. It looks like this if you go in the store. And I'm going to be taking it in the color Mantra and just putting that all over my lips. It looks like a tinted chapstick a little bit. That's why I like it. It's a bit natural for school. And just put that all over your lips. And to seal that in, I'm going to be using the Bare Minerals lip gloss in the color... Does it not say the color? Or can I just not read it? That's the question, because I don't have my contacts in. You know, whatever color this lip gloss is, it's just like this. Put that right on top so it sets it and keeps it all day for school. Alright, so this is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and feel free to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, all that jazz. I hope you guys have a lovely school year ahead. Study hard, get good grades. I know you can do it. And I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.